Hello and welcome to Toad Rolls Dice, where we have another Kill Team preview. This time, we're taking a look at the brand new terrain. I haven't gone through this article yet, so this will be my first time running through it with you guys. Really looking forward to seeing what they're actually doing and how much they're going to give away. Hopefully they're going to give us a little idea of what's in the event cards as well, because it all ties into the same thing, doesn't it? The first thing, or one of the first characters when I first got back into Warhammer 5 years ago, I had an idea of a Kazakin squad who had gone into a Necron tomb world and only one survivor, and he was going to be the leader of my elite Cadian army. Yeah, that never really happened because I quickly realised that the Kazakin at the time were still the old metal ones and impossible to get hold of, and just how much money it would take to get the guard up and running, and they had their old models at that point as well. So yeah, that was a non-starter, but I've always loved the idea of going into a Necron world, like into a tomb world, and just obliterating it before it fully awakens and activates. This box is exactly what I wanted. Yes, it's with Deathwatch, which is cooler in all honesty because I love the Deathwatch, as you guys already know, but minor negatives with the Deathwatch kit aside, I'm really looking forward to this one, so let's see what they're going to give us. Killzone Tomb World. Dare you enter the Necron's domain? In the Nephilim sector, deep below the surface of a desolate planet of Somneft, lies a nasty surprise. A Necron tomb complex slumbers beneath the wastes, its dozing inhabitants just waiting for their wake-up call. They'd probably be hitting the snooze button for a few more eons. But with all these Deathwatch Space Marines stomping around, they may be forced awake sooner than they'd like. I'm going to edit that because I don't think that should be awaken. Kill Team Tomb World contains 2 new kill teams and a new arena, Killzone Tomb World. Similar in playstyle to Killzone Gallowdark, it's a collection of modular wall pieces that snap together to create deadly kill corridors and claustrophobic rooms. Even though there's more Xenos detritus in these walls, the rules keep things consistent across both sets. So while the Tomb World uses fancy phasing portals for doors rather than good old Imperial hatches, such esoteric thresholds are always labelled as hatchways, and operatives still perform the operate hatch action to use them. Similarly, breachable terrain remains, and it's just as fun to pop out the segments as it ever was. So we have a few snaps of our terrain here. I love this one with the Necrons in there. It's very Borg-esque. Fans of Star Trek will know what I mean. I also love seeing all the little scarabs just roaming around. And then how it's almost like the stone and the rock that it's built into is phasing in and out of reality. Really, really cool. We got portals there. That looks like one of the breachable things. That's one of the end pieces with a Necron taking a nap. I really love this. I'm interested to see if the doors open or not. It doesn't look like they do. These all look fixed. Maybe even single piece. Or maybe you could push something in there to block it up. But most of these look single piece. That will be a fixed thing. You probably glue that in place. But they all look fairly static. The doors may open though. I'd be interested to know. But I think that this is just a stunning box. A really cool, well-designed new arena for Kill Team. There's plenty of fun, light terrain to scatter across your sector of the tomb world, including a sarcophagus and some crumbling ruins, and the teleport pad. From the second turning point onwards, when a friendly operative on a teleport pad forms the charge, fallback or reposition action, they're taken off the battlefield and set back up on the opposite teleporter to complete their move. Any conditions of the move must be honoured, no charging from nowhere, and if another operative is on the other pad, you can swap places with them. That sounds great. No teleporter incidents here. These are smart and safe Necron devices. Okay, fair enough. But wouldn't that be cool? Like D3 damage to an operative if they're both on the pad. It's just a fun little idea, isn't it? This new Killzone will be supported in the Approved Ops Card Pack 2025, which contains layouts for Killzone's Gallowdark, Beta Decima, Vulcus and Tomb World. You'll get 6 maps for each one, plus 6 non-specific maps with deployment zones you can use with any layout. And we have 2 options there. It looks very Gallowdarky, doesn't it? They did try and step away from saying that this was Gallowdark reskinned. I feel like that's what this is going to be. Maybe a couple of different nuances, but I feel like this is just a reskin of Gallowdark, and honestly that's not a bad thing at all. I'm interested to see how all this joins together as well, because that doesn't look like a cap. Gallowdark had those big thick caps that you pushed on to lock the walls in. This doesn't have that. It does look like these are... it's just push fit. It's going to be an interesting painting one. It looks like, if we look here, I mean, they've painted it well there. Can't really see, but it looks like there's a break. It's a bit of a diamond or a point, and it just pushes in. Same with that. I'd love to get better shots of these. But you can see these little darker pieces here. They look like they are just thinner plastic, and they will push into these thicker sarcophagus pieces. I'd even argue that that is, you can see how deep the break is, because... No, it can't be. It can't be, but it definitely looks like it pushes in. And every wall matches that shape, so this isn't the same style as Gallowdark. This goes together very differently. If I'm right in my theory that it just pushes in and locks in without you needing to cap it off or anything, that's definitely a better design theory and easier to put together. Gallowdark was a pain in the arse to put together, but I am interested to know how it locks together, if it locks together. Yeah, still got questions. This article isn't doing anything for those questions. But as we've talked about with the approved ops deck video that we did, we know that this is getting support with the maps and things anyway. The Toon World dossier uses this all new terrain in its joint ops and adversary ops mission. In the former, every action will increase the threat level, love it, which in turn will awaken more NPOs and force you to draw new Tomb event cards. In Anniversary Ops, you'll use them as one of the NPO's 2 mandatory strategic gambits. Nice, okay, strategic gambits coming in for NPOs. A newly awakened warrior can detach from a wall without warning, setting up in range of a wall section with the appropriate sculpting. That's great as well, just... how thematic, how narrative is that? Tomb complexes are strange, shifting places that constantly repair and reconfigure themselves, so drawing the maze reforms closes 1 breach point and 3 hatchways. Stirrings of Horror keeps the pressure up, increasing the threat level that governs the behaviour of the Tomb complex in joint ops and adding new threats to the field in adversary ops. Shall we run through these cards? We have 3 there. I'm expecting them to be like 6 or 8. There wasn't that many in Kill Team Typhon. We'll have a look at the cards in a second. Test your mettle against the Tomb complex and its denizens with the new Kill Team Tomb World box set, which is pre-order on Saturday, alongside 10 Necron Warriors, 3 Canoptic Scarab Swarms, and the Canoptic Circle Kill Team. I wonder if they're going to give rules to the Canoptic Circle Kill Team as MPOs, because there's a lot of Necron troops and things and elites, to be honest. They have quite a wide range. There's a lot that you could do data card wise, but I'd also like to see the Kill Team get NPO rules. So say Scouts go in, Pathfinders go in, and it's a face-off against each other, and then the Necrons are just awakening, and there's this Necron Geomancer just popping up and destroying everything, or rebuilding everything maybe. I feel like there's so much more that you could do narrative and house rule wise than they're going to give you, but I'm really excited to see. Let's have a look at these event cards then before we go. So the first one on the left, Awakened Warrior. Set up a Necron Warrior MPO with a Conceal Order with a terrain feature within its control range that has a Necron Warrior model onto it, i.e. wall end to the reverse side of A2. That must be how they designate. Maybe that piece, or probably that piece. If you can't, e.g. MPO limit is reached, draw a different event card. The maze reforms, 1 random open breach point and D3 random open hatchways close, taking precedence over the normal breach point rules. If none can be closed, draw a different card. And then we have Stirrings of Horror. Let's see if we can go through this one. Increase the current threat level by 1. If the threat level is already at 15, or you are playing adversary ops, set up 1 additional MPO reinforcement during this strategy phase instead. It's nice to know that there's 15 threat levels. I wonder how severe they get. I'd really like to see some big stuff. I mean, we know that the Nightbringer is going to be part of this, so maybe threat level 15 is the Nightbringer, or maybe as we go further down the line, that 3rd box that we already know about, maybe that has an event deck, or they release cards separately, like on Warcom, that increase the threat level to Nightbringer arrives kind of level, maybe level 30, something like that. I don't know. I mean, these cards in isolation, they don't really mean much, do they? You get an idea of what they're doing, but it's better to just have the cards in front of you and run through it all. That's what we'll do on my review when I get hold of the box. Hopefully I'll be able to pick one up on release day, but I don't even know if I'm able to pre-order it right now, so we'll see. But I like these little event bits. I love how they're building into joint ops, adversary ops. That side of the game is far more interesting to me personally. I'm just not a tournament player. Having said that, I've never done a tournament and I'd be tempted to do a tournament. I just need to settle on a kill team, you know, and then get good with them. That's the difference. But this is actually another disappointing article, but not for the content. I like everything that I'm hearing. I don't have any faults in any of this. We know that there's support coming, that's great. We know that there's the event deck in there, we get a little glimpse of that. We know that you've got your MPOs. But we've seen these pictures before. Alright, this is a slightly blown up and much cleaner image of all of the wall pieces. And we know there's a teleporter in there. But once again, this is another article that just feels lacking in information. I guess what we're going to do is just do deep dives once Tomb World is in my hands, and then we'll run through everything that way, and we'll just be slightly delayed to everyone else. But this doesn't take away from my hype. I'm still excited about everything in that box. I cannot wait to see what the Necron team do. I hope that we do get some more Kill Team previews. If we do, obviously I will bring them to you guys. This is interesting. I want more. Hasn't really told us anything new, I don't think. Other than you can't instantly kill an opponent if you're both on a transporter pad. You don't take any damage, you just move. Which is a cool mechanic. I kinda wish it would go a little bit further. If it's friendly to friendly, I can argue against it, but if you have a Necron on one side and a Deathwatch on the other, and then they phase and get teleported across the room, I don't know, I'd like a bit more to that. But then we've also got to think in a streamlined rules way, and what keeps it engaging and exciting for the player. If you're hopping around teleports and constantly taking wounds on your operatives, it's not always going to be fun, is it? But everything in here looks great. I have questions on how it goes together. Can we see anything in here actually? Yeah, it's a push fit. There's no caps. It looks like they've painted all of this together, but it definitely pushes in. Right, where's that? So that is the teleportery one. Yeah, okay. So it was exactly how I've been saying it would be for the last however many videos we talked about it. They just push in together in those pieces. You can see it there, you just figure it out by sight. Interesting choice. Hopefully this is them learning lessons, and that probably is a decent thickness. So it shouldn't be falling out, and they'll brace themselves anyway. They're quite thick along the bottom and the top. And it's not like they're weight bearing or anything, so all that they're holding is themselves. Yeah, they'll hold fine. This looks like a more refined version of putting the scenery together than Gallo Dark. And I think that is something that we should praise them for, if it goes together as easily as we think it is. Not entirely sure about the painting, but just don't paint these bits and don't paint the internals of those sections, and you'll be absolutely fine, I'm sure. Yeah, looking forward to this, looking forward to a new arena and new terrain. But as always, let me know what you think in the comments below. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.